great big welcome to July. Can you believe how quickly this year is going? It's just flying by. I thought something a little bit different for this month. So to start with, a meditation, which seems a little bit strange, but so often tarot cards are just amazing for doing meditations. Normally major arcana, but do you know what? We're into the second half of this year and it's been a strange one. So let's use minor arcana card. And I've got the Ace of Swords. And this is from the quite incredible steampunk deck. You can see this is a really powerful imagery. And the big thing with aces, they're about beginnings, the start of ideas, something fresh, something new, something exciting. The element for swords is air. So what I would like people to focus on if they're going to use tarot for any meditations is how air nourishes us. You know, what it does for us, how it feeds our minds. And, you know, just indulge in that wonderful feeling, but also remember the strength of the sword. So it's a real, you know, it's a power, you know, it's a real powerful imagery, very strong. And what it's reminding us that combining logic with intellect, so the double-edged sword, the two parts that would go with it. Swords can represent strife, but they can also represent strength. So when you meditate, again, always start looking at the two sides. It's never simple when you read tarot with swords. And I just find them absolutely fascinating. So as you meditate, focus on your own individual strengths. And you know what? Plan your way into triumph and success. Give yourselves a big pat on the back because these have been challenging times. And, you know, now's the time for that fresh start. So even if you could only meditate for a short amount of time, use that card and use that imagery to go forward, because I think that's going to be a real big help to everybody for July. We've had some amazing moons. We've had some, you know, eclipses. It's just been an incredible time. And, you know, we've had the solstice and, you know, we're just hopefully in summer. And the tarot card for July, you know, obviously linking with Cancer, is the Chariot, once again from the steampunk deck. And I just think these are sort of just so apt at the moment. And just take from the Chariot, it's about success, action, but through determination. You know, be determined to succeed. So it's all about time to gather your strength up, to go forward and to absolutely, totally believe in yourselves. And if you look at the image, and the same if you use Rider-Waite or one of the multitude of beautiful decks of tarot that are around, the charioteer, I should say, is stood still observing everything that's going on. So I want you to think really carefully about what the next move you make. You know, really think about it. But what you can't forget to do is about loving yourself. That is so very important. And conquer your emotions. You know, any anxieties, any stresses, you know, take control of them and channel them, focus them into that positive movement forward. Have your sight on that horizon and know that you're going to achieve it, that this is going to be a real big step forward. So incredibly important that you do that. And, you know, lovely cards, vibrancy, and it's just brilliant that people are taking the time to just indulge a little bit in tarot, which means so very much to me. And I do enjoy reading for people. You know, it's obviously easier on a one-to-one basis, but just to share this sort of lovely general sort of variety of what we can achieve with them. And so previously I've looked at sort of all the different weeks, but I thought I would do 3 cards to cover the whole of July, that you can just take what you will from it, because you know, we're talking to a much larger audience. So I've pulled, and you may have noticed I'm going to major, excuse the pun, very much on major arcana, because I think there's such powerful energies. Major arcana are the karmic, the greater secrets. And I think it's important now that we just use the power of these cards this month to take us through for the next 6 months of the year. So to start with, and again, take what you can from these cards, is temperance. That's a very interesting imagery. It's probably anything that you've seen before with temperance. Strong cards, but it's, if you can see it just around, there's lots and lots of space. And that's what temperance represents, space and balance. You know, very much, if you can see the balanced wings, what she's holding in her hands is balanced. And just ground yourself and make sure that everything about you, you know, you're not off center, you know, you're feeling very powerful and very strong. But the big thing is with this card, do not forget to be patient. You have clear vision, so know what you want and what you want to achieve. You've got that balance, you can see the direction that you're going in. And it is possible that you may need to revisit some of your priorities, perhaps some of the things that you manifested, that you said that you wanted, it may have shifted. So that's fine. Don't feel that you're backtracking. If you need to go back, revisit, look at the second half of this year, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine if you need to do that. But keeping on with the balance theme, make sure you balance your inner self with your outer self, that you're not out of kilter, that you're just in complete harmony. So that's the beautiful message of temperance. And if that resonates with you, please just take it. Now, the next card that's come through, I often feel is quite an incredibly misunderstood card. And I hope you can see the imagery with this, but it's the devil. And, you know, it's almost like sort of the industrial fires that the steampunk cards seem to give. And there's a little bit about, you know, people that worked in those factories, had those environments, were felt trapped and restricted. And that's maybe how you're feeling at the moment, that, you know, you still can't find a way forward. And, you know, I'm not going to do a sort of a cheap COVID thing. People maybe want to go on holidays, you still can't go to some of the bigger events that you want to, or they've been cancelled. So you are feeling still a little bit confined. Or it could be you're addicted to something, you know, something that you've, I'm not saying drink, drugs, anything like that, but something that you're keeping on, that you're wanting and desiring all the time. Or even outside influences are restricting you. I mean, that's something that I think maybe a lot of us have felt. But you know what? You don't need to tolerate it. You know, you can do something about it. Maybe not to the extent that could before or in the way that you want, but you can do something that's a little bit different. There are always options. So do something positive. Don't feel that you're in that confined. Sometimes people call it a toxic situation, maybe even surrounded by some difficult, toxic people that are negatively having an impact. You don't have to do that. You can put your boundaries up. You can say enough's enough. And, you know, taking from the meditations, put some real strength and some backbone into what you do. So the next card is the Wheel of Fortune. You know, it's the next step in the changes. It's going forward. It's good luck. It's destiny, but it's also change. And many of us find change incredibly difficult. You know what? These changes may not be easy, but just trust the universe is in control. You know, just believe in the universe is on your side. And if you have that faith, have that trust, the next step is not going to be quite as difficult as you imagine. But it's, you know, as that wheel goes round, grasp those opportunities, because they will be good, but they don't stay forever. The wheel goes round and things change. And I'm going to keep saying this, focus your intentions on what you truly want. It's really important that you do that. And, you know, indulge yourself. If an opportunity comes, take advantage of it. Go, yeah, do you know what? This is something different. This is something vibrant. This is something exciting. And we all need so much of that. So I thought money would be quite a good thing to look at. I do a lot of private readings, and it's a topic that comes up quite a lot with people at the moment. And, you know, many people have got concerns. You had reduced incomes, maybe decided to start a new business. Um, you know, lots of things that are impacting the way that you are. So again, I'm going to show you 3 cards, this time from the Gilded Tarot deck, and take what you can from them. But I'm going to say to everybody, just believe in yourselves. It's so very important. So from a purely financial aspect to these cards for July, we start off with the World. And it's a beautiful card. It's an end of a cycle. If that cycle has been difficult, there's a new one that's coming along. Money should be coming your way. And, you know, sing out, enjoy the fruits of your hard work, your labour. You know that things are just going to start becoming better. But there's always a big warning. With tarot, most of the cards, they have a little a little warning that you need to take notice of. And it's, you know, not to gamble or take any chances. You know, stick within your boundaries, don't rock the boat, certainly on a financial aspect, and just keep going, because it's important that you have that steadiness and that you build. You know, it's possible that you could be receiving a bonus if you work. Way, at last, you know, people are being recognised, fantastic. Or perhaps, you know, there's a new contract coming that's going to be financially beneficial to you. But make sure you put some money away. You know, there's going to be rainy days. So make sure you've got that little bit in reserve. Don't just go, yes, I'm going to be silly and do things. Or do you know what, treat yourself just a little bit. Don't ignore, but just keep that little bit tucked away. And then we come on to the beautiful, beautiful Empress. So again, just whatever resonates with you, please take from it. And, you know, she's wonderful, connected to the earth. Amazing, amazing card. And it's what it's saying is you're full of new ideas, you know, bright, fantastic, visionary, you know, oh, just absolutely abundant with ideas. But it's going to be good to follow your intuition with this. Don't scattergun and do everything. Just be really careful and focused about what you choose. And if you are planning on doing some investments, again, trust what you feel. You know, fine, do the research, very important. But don't be drawn into it by somebody going, this is amazing. Believe in the feelings that you have and the work that you've done. And you know what? You're going to reap some benefits from it. You're going to be lucky. You're going to be successful. There's good things coming in. But just remember, there's probably some people around you that are a little less fortunate. So I'm not saying, you know, give loads away, but share a bit, treat somebody, do something a little bit nice, a little bit special for someone. And do you know what? It's going to come back to you many times over. So it's just that benevolence, that wonderful, but know that there's really good things coming, and make the most of your creative ideas. And then we come to the Lovers, which is quite interesting when you look at it from sort of a financial and development perspective. I say this all the time. I love this card. The imagery is so vibrant, so strong, such colours, and so powerful. And I think this is what July I'm saying all the time, is that, you know, step into your power, go forward and be strong. And with the Lovers, there could be some new business partnerships for you. And they're going to be really beneficial. So if you need to hook up with somebody, share some ideas, go for it. It's going to be absolutely, you know, good fun, bounce ideas off each other and go forward. But what I'm going to say is the warning: don't mix business with pleasure. And maybe there was a certain government minister that should have listened to that recently, but hey ho, we're not going there. But, you know, this is a good time to seek out new financial opportunities. You know, gather all your facts together first and then go for it, because this is such a, you know, a lovely, vibrant card, but it's a card about decisions. It's a decision that you're going to have to make, and you're going to have to trust yourself, and, you know, ultimately you're going to have to live with it. But I hope I've given you a little whistle stop tour through July, and that you've enjoyed it. And it's absolutely been my pleasure. But if you're thinking of learning tarot or developing it, please do so. And I run some courses, and I would love to meet up with people. And our banner was there, and it's just absolutely amazing. All of the work that's gone into pulling these different ideas together, and make the most of it. And I'd love to hear how everybody's getting on. So a great big thank you from me, and I look forward to seeing you next month.